Hi there, my name's Jane Anderson and this is the Jane Anderson Brand You Show. It's the podcast for experts who want to have greater impact, influence and income for their businesses and careers. As experts, we know that people buy from people and work with people who they know, who they like and who they trust. So I'm so glad you're here because it's that time again now to really amplify how you show up in the world. Hi there and welcome to the Jane Anderson Brand You Show, where we talk all things personal branding and personally branded businesses because we believe that people buy from people and they buy from people who they know, who they like and who they trust. Today I'm going to be talking about LinkedIn and in particular whether you need a business page and how to manage it if you're going to do it. So welcome to the show. So, I don't know, you probably know who Michael Jordan is, and when I was growing up, I remember I loved basketball at school, and I used to always watch Michael Jordan playing basketball on TV, and he once said that talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. And this quote reminds me of when I'm out working with teams, and the questions that I get asked about, do we need a company page? And so I recently worked with this client. She was managing her own business and she said to me, do I need to set up a personal page and a company page, and which one should I do first? And the Michael Jordan quote reminds me that about with company pages, it's sometimes there's a few more things going on. It's a little bit more happening with the team as opposed to your personal page. And your personal LinkedIn profile is more an extension of your personal network and brand. So it's a way for you to connect on a personal level online, and a business page is slightly different. So whilst your personal profiles have connections, company pages have followers. So there's quite a difference. Simply just wanting people to follow your business instead of connecting with you is a little bit counterproductive when you think about it, in particular with networking and growing your business. Because people want to connect with you because you're you. They trust you, they like you, and they know who you are. So it's a little bit like if you're at an event and you introduced yourself to someone, you would introduce yourself as you, like your name. You wouldn't introduce yourself as, Brisbane Electrical or something like that. You use your name. So, however, LinkedIn has done some research on it, and they indicate that members are 50% more likely to purchase from a company they engage with on LinkedIn. And furthermore, nearly 80% of LinkedIn members want to connect with companies in their lives. So in other words, members aren't necessarily looking for once-off help. They want to connect and partner for the longer term. So your business page and both your business page and personal page allow this to happen. So it's one of the most common questions I get asked, and I think there are a few benefits to having a company page. Whilst I don't necessarily think you have to put a whole lot of effort into it, but I think there are a few benefits. The first one is that it can elevate the quality of the talent applying for roles if you're in a business. So potential employees will review your company page. So you need to make sure that it reflects your organisational values. So particularly if you're looking for staff or you're looking for an assistant, perhaps, if you're a personally branded business, if you're a solopreneur, having a business page can sort of reassure them that you're a professional outfit, you kind of know what you're doing. You can also leverage your company's visual branding by including your images and logos in your personal page. So what that means is when you go to build your individual profile in your employment history, you have the opportunity to tag the company that you have or that you're working with. Now, if you don't have the company page set up, it won't tag it, in which case it won't bring any logos or images across into your personal page. So there's an advantage there in that it just makes your personal profile look a little bit more polished. On your company page, you can share other things like videos and things like that. So you would manage your business page separately to your personal page. What you can do on your company page, you can add specific products and services, and you can even launch new products and services, which is really good. And the thing is to remember that with a business page, people are more there the purpose is a little bit more about following you, understanding what you're doing as a company, and sometimes being quite happy to be a bit more explicit on what you're selling. But at an individual level, they just want to connect with you because they trust you. I think one of the other benefits of having a company page is that it can be used when it can be used to be able to plug in to your other media. So if you've got your LinkedIn company page and you've got it linked to your company website, and you can add, follow buttons to other websites and things like that. So it allows you to just plug in other media or share other links to your website that you would like to. The other thing that you can do with it is that it does support SEO by adding some keywords, but not necessarily as heavily as an individual's profile. You can drive traffic to your LinkedIn company page by including a follow button from your company website. So you certainly have that available to you, and you can do that. I think one of the other advantages of having it is that it can provide a way for your competitors to follow your business rather than connecting with you, so that they're not too close to following your content and your connections and putting your business at risk. So it is a good sort of parking area for them to feel like they've got an option there to be able to follow you. But I think there are some disadvantages in having a company page, and they're really only a couple. I think one is that you really need to make sure that somebody is managing it. So it really needs an allocated person or page manager with some kind of process in place to hand over if that person leaves the organisation. So I've worked with a couple of people who have had, they've been admin support or marketing people, and unfortunately the business hasn't realised that that person has left, and now they can't manage their business page. So just really consider your risk on who has access to those types of things. And the other thing too is it's really easy to forget about it. So just making sure it somehow has somebody looking after it, so that the maintenance of it is kept up to date, and so that it has the relevance to the market and for those people who are following it. So something that's probably a little bit of an important point is that if you do attempt to set up a company as a personal profile, so I've seen some people try to do that. It's actually in the LinkedIn user agreement that it's against the rules on LinkedIn, so they will generally remove it. I'm seeing a lot less now. They seem to really be onto it. Previously they were popping up all the time, but I'm not seeing that many anymore. So what this means is that if you set a personal page up as a company page, and you go out and connect with all those people, and LinkedIn close it down, you're going to lose all your connections. So then you're going to have to start all over again. So LinkedIn ultimately owns all your connections. So to me, it's just not worth the risk. You're better off to do all that through your individual profile. Plus, people want to connect with you anyway. But I think, so a couple of questions to just really think about before setting your company page up. I think the first one is what size is your business? So do people want to connect with you more than the business brand? And this is particularly relevant if you have a personally branded business that is small, like if you're a solopreneur, if you're a consultant, someone like that, if you're a speaker, you're an author, coach, people will generally want to connect with you because you're you. So my suggestion would be is to run the bulk of everything through your personal page. But if you are at that stage in your business where you've grown your personal brand, you've built a practice, and now you're ready to create a business and leverage that, so if you've done all that work, then it might be time to set up that business page, because you're looking to attract contractors and other talent, and so you're building another brand. So that's probably one thing to keep in mind. The other reason would be, or the question I would ask is, are you not wanting people to connect with you because of your position? So one of the things, questions I sometimes am asked by CEOs is, how do I stop these people connecting with me? I don't know about CEOs in the US, but in Australia, CEOs kind of want to hide a little bit. They're very private kind of people generally, which is a shame, because 2/3 of people have said that they connect, or they make a decision about a company as a result of the CEO. So, I think here in Australia we don't always realise the opportunity that a CEO has and the leverage that's in a CEO's profile to grow a business. And that's quite often my education that I do all the time when working with CEOs. But if you're a CEO and you don't want people to connect with you or follow you or whatever that might be, then set up your business page. It's a great way for people to, because generally as people want to follow, they want to learn about your business. You've spent all this time trying to grow your business and position it and help people get to know you, but it's a bit hard if you don't want to connect with them. So set up the business page. So give them something to connect with. That's why they're reaching out, and they want to know more. My next question is often about the team of experts that differentiate your business, and can they contribute their thought leadership onto a business page? So they can also do it on their own page. So, for example, I'm currently working with an industrial engineering company. These guys have the intelligence and the experience, expertise, trust that is within the business because of these guys. They're not necessarily part of the sales team, but they are really trusted in the business. They're the reason why customers stay, and they're the reason why customers come to them. So that content that they're writing can be shared through that business page as well. So it's probably not a bad idea just to really think about, do we have a team of experts that differentiate our business and that support the brand? And can the thought leadership that's on their individual profiles be shared in that business page? And I think that's a real opportunity that I see a lot. The next question I would ask is, are you growing the business and recruiting in future, or do you currently have positions advertised on other websites? So this is again about validation. So if you've got ads on websites, this is about employer branding. So if you've got jobs on Seek or Indeed or Monster.com, or if you're in other countries other than Australia, my suggestion is to really have a look at the think about it from the individual who's applying for the job. They're going to go on LinkedIn. We know that 75% of team members will go and validate their potential boss on LinkedIn. We do know that. But think about it with the business page too. Like, does it look professional? Is it up to date? If they look at it, they want to know when someone's looking at working for you, the question they're asking themselves is, am I going to achieve my potential? And if I look at those pages, is it singing to that person's potential? So it needs to be positioning the organisation as, we're a great place to work. Here's why. Here's what some of our people have said. Here's how we help people. And here's the type of products. And here's our vision. Here's where we're trying to go. So if you can capture that will really support your recruitment activities as well. I think the other thing to really consider as well is the level of competitors that are in your network. So do you have competitors who might be trying to capitalize on your network? Now, I traditionally don't connect with my competitors, but they're very welcome to follow me on my business page, and I write my blogs and all that sort of thing. But the last thing that you really want is to be exposing your networks to them, and you've got to protect those. I think you have a duty to your own clients to not expose them to being so I think there's some competitors out there that are wonderful and would never harass them or anything like that. But there are some competitors that do. So I think you have a duty to just protect your clients, but also just to protect your own business. Once they're connected to you, they can see your connections, particularly if they've got them in common. So just keep in mind, have you got competitors who might be looking to capitalize on your network? And maybe it's best to have a business page so that they can go and follow you over there. And then my last question is, do you have resources to manage both pages? So it can be starting to be a bit of a job to manage both those things. So if you've got the resources, have you got admin support? Have you got someone who's in your marketing team? Have you got a social media manager? Whoever it might be, do you have the support to run those pages? And if you do, fantastic. But if not, then is it really worth it? Maybe it's good to just have it as a placeholder and for the branding, but you run all your content through the individuals because people buy from people. So I hope that's helpful on the podcast today. If you are wanting more information on how to run pages or how to set them up and things like that, you're very welcome to check out my Connect book with my co-author Kylie Chown. It's Connect, Leverage Your LinkedIn Profile for Business Growth and Lead Generation in Less Than 7 Minutes a Day. The ironic thing is I'm not necessarily a huge advocate of spending a whole lot of time on social media. I'm a big fan of getting productive results fast because you got other things that will create the results in your business that you're looking for. So the book is available on Amazon. You can get it in Kindle and hardcover. You can also get it on Barnes & Noble, Book Depository, and of course my own website, jane-anderson.com. So I would love to hear from you. You are very welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear the successes that you're having. You'll see all the recommendations on my profile. I love hearing some of the results that people have had, and they do come in, and I'm certainly incredibly grateful for those who share their wonderful results, and I take my hat off to you to do the work. So